Alright, we are the Group 6 and today presenting our report on results in Peninsula, Spain. This section details the initial phase of Rizal's journey to Europe on his secret departures from the Philippines and early travel to Spain with hidden purposes beyond completing his medical studies.
The overview: build a reputation in journalism, observe and study European society, and prepare to liberate Filipinos from Spanish tyranny.
Secret departures of Rizal. Rizal left Calamba on May 1, 1882, reaching Manila after 10 hours via Calamata. Only his brother Paciano, Uncle Antonio Rivera, Auntie Saturina, and a few friends knew of the trip kept secret to avoid detections by Spanish authorities, especially France. Paciano secured his passport under the name Jose Mercado. Rizal stayed in Manila for 2 days, departed on May 3, 1882, after hearing Mass at Santo Domingo Church, then boarded the Salvadora at the Pasig River, board for Singapore.
Itinerary to Spain. This slide describes the start of Jose Rizal's journey. He boarded the ship at Salvadora, also referred to as Savior or Rescuer.
Rizal felt sorrow leaving his country and family but observed his surroundings that many Spanish-speaking travelers spoke poorly of the Philippines. Bisan pa man, nagmaayabay si Rizal kaysa pagbiya sa iyang ginikanan ng pamilya, iyagi akong ipadayon ang iyang pag-observe sa iyang panahon sa biyahe. Si Salvador docked in Singapore. Rizal stayed 2 days visiting botanical gardens, art galleries, parks, and historical spots, documenting all observations in his diary. Rizal in Barcelona initially had a negative impressions of Barcelona but grew to appreciate its freedom, liberalism, and residents' open-heartedness, hospitality, and courage. Welcomed by former Ateneo municipal schoolmates at a party at Plaza de Catalunya, they exchanged thoughts and news before exploring the city's historical spots together. Maintained regular correspondence with family, friends in the Philippines, and continue pursuing his missions to build a reputation in writing. A hub of republicanisms, free thinking, and anti-monarchist sentiment during Spain's turbulent Restoration's era. He praised the locals' open-heartedness or cordiality, hospitality, and courage Valencia, seeing them as kindred spirit to Filipinos resisting colonial oppressions. This shift reflects Rizal's growth, blending personal adaptations with his missions to promote enlightened reform. The second dot will come by Ateneo schoolmates at Plaza de Catalunya. Upon arrival, Rizal was joyful, received at a lively party in this iconic square by fellow alumni from Manila's Ateneo Municipal de Manila. His Jesuit High School. They shared thoughts, practice, caught up on news from home, and then toured landmarks like the Gothic Quarter, Miranda, and the port. More patriotic or love of country. Upon arriving in Barcelona, Rizal began writing nationalistic articles. His first essay, The El Amor Trio, writing when he was 21 years old under the pseudonym Laong Lan, published in Yarong Tagalog, Manila, on August 20, 1882. In it, he first used the term Tierra Extranjera, foreign land, to refer to Spain. The essay emphasized love for country as a power force within teams in sacrifice for nations, welfare, and liberty.
Rizal Rizal moves to Madrid. In September 1882, Rizal relocated to Madrid to resume and expand his studies. In Madrid, he pursued multiple disciplines simultaneously at the Universidad Central de Madrid. First is licentiate in medicine, continuing his medical education. Second is philosophy and letters, deepening his understanding of humanities and thought. Additional pursuits, Rizal was not focused on academic subjects. He was truly a Renaissance man. Highlight his other courses and hobbies like fine arts, painting and sculpture at the Academia de San Fernando, athletics, fencing at School of Science and Carbonell, languages, learning English, French and German at the Ateneo de Madrid. He surrounded himself with fellow intellectual expatriates including prominent figures like Pedro Paterno, Graciano Lopez Jaena, Gregorio Sanciano, Juan Luna, Felix Hidalgo, and Marcelo del Pilar. These students in Madrid were central to his activist life in Spain. Triumvirate of propaganda movement emphasized the close collaboration between Rizal, Lopez Jaena, and del Pilar. They became the leading figures of the propaganda movement, a campaign striving for political and social reforms in the Philippines, Circulo Hispano-Filipino. Note that Rizal joined this organization, driven by Juan Ataide, which brought together Filipinos and Spanish liberals. It was here that he wrote a poem requested of him.
Poem they asked me for verses. This reflects the shifting for his creative spirit and for his homeland and for memories of youth.
Rizal joins the Masonry. Living in Madrid exposed Rizal to liberal ideas about individual freedom and expression. He grew fascinated by how Spanish Masons discussed political issues openly and was drawn to their progressive views on government, politics, and religion. He joined Masonry on November 15, 1890, becoming a Master in Lodge Solidaridad. His reasons included opposing abuses by friars against Filipinos, associating with fellow Masons, and seeking their assistance in fighting Spanish tyranny and oppression. During the 19th century, Freemasonry was a hub for liberal thinkers who opposed the absolute power of the joint Catholic Church and Spanish monarchy. Rizal affairs with Consuelo. The affairs between Jose Rizal and Consuelo Ortega while Rey was a brief but significant part of Rizal's life, despite their shared admiration for each other. Rizal's commitment to Leonor Rivera prevented them from pursuing a serious relationship. Consuelo, strategic and left alone and abandoned, was a result of their affair's short duration and the pressures of their respective engagements. Rizal's poem, A La Señorita Coyr, is a poignant expression of his feeling for Consuelo, reflecting the sorrow of love that could not be shared. That Consuelo was the daughter of Don Pablo Ortega, a former mayor of Filipino living in Madrid. Rizal toast to Luna and Hidalgo. Jose Rizal toast to Juan Luna and Felix Hidalgo celebrate their artistic achievements and symbolize the awakening of Filipino nationalism during a banquet in Madrid on June 25, 1884. Rizal delivered his toast at a restaurant Ingles in Madrid honoring Juan Luna, who won a good medal for his painting, and Felix Resurrection Hidalgo, who received a silver medal for Virgins Christianas al Polarco. At the National Exposition of Fine Arts, this event was significant as it showcased Filipino talent on an international stage and marked a moment.
Rizal delivered his speech entitled Brindis, which means celebrations of genius, national pride, and unity and aspirations among Filipinos. Doña Teodola's reactions on Rizal's speech. Doña Teodola expressed concern over Jose Rizal's speech, advising him to avoid writing that might offend the friars and fearing for his safety due to his growing notoriety. This is the response of Rizal to her mother. First is, he would still face enemy even
He stopped writing any Spanish anti-fire articles. Second, life involves sorrows and misfortunes can help avert degradations. Third, conscience must guide choice between salvations and resistance. And fourth, people should trust in God and act with sincere purpose. These are some conclusions. This is the Rizal's times in response was a result to her mother that shaped his identity as a scholar and reformist. His travel across Spain marked the beginning of his intellectual awakening, exposing him to liberal thinking, modern educations, and the early formations of his political ideals. Rizal's experience in Spain were transformative, providing him with educations, exposures, and connections unnecessary to become a prominent figures in the fight for Filipino independence. His travel in Spain served as a testament to the power of cross-cultural exchange and enduring impact of one experience abroad. So Rizal was a high intellectual, reason, and rights and fight for a Filipino independence against Spain.